Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Friday, the 23rd of August, 2024. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 closed flat today, or down 3 points to 8,024 points. It was only 3 points, but it did break the 10-day streak of positive closes. For the week, the bourse was up 0.7%. Not a lot happening today, a bit quieter on the earnings front. The utilities and energy sub-indices were the worst performers. The telco index was the best. That was on the back of Telstra rising 1.1%, one of the best of the large caps. James Hardie, Suncorp, Goodman Group and Woolies also outperformed. The big miners underperformed, as did ANZ. Story number 2, the Federal Treasurer will retain the power to override Reserve Bank decisions, and all existing Reserve Bank board members will shift onto a new interest rate setting board under a compromise offered by the Albanese government to secure coalition support for an overhaul of the central bank. Treasurer Jim Chalmers has made the 2 key concessions in an aim to secure a deal to reform the central bank. After a review into the Reserve Bank, the government has been pushing to split the existing board into separate groups for interest rate setting and for governance. Now, Dr. Chalmers has also agreed to the coalition demand that the 6 external members of the current Reserve Bank board be transferred to the new interest rate monetary policy setting committee, which would determine the cash rate. He's agreed to preserve the power of the Treasurer to override the interest rate decisions of the board under special circumstances. Reserve Bank Governor Michelle Bullock, Deputy Governor Andrew Houser and Treasury Secretary Stephen Kennedy will sit on the interest rate setting board as planned. Story number 3, ANZ Bank has been hit with an extra $250 million capital charge after the prudential regulator identified persistent concerns about its risk management stemming from an escalating bond trading scandal. It means ANZ has to hold an extra $750 million as a type of insurance, money that can only be deployed in limited ways, hindering the bank's ability to make a profit. It also is a bad PR look. The Australian Prudential Regulation Authority penalty comes as the bank faces an investigation into alleged market manipulation of the government bond rate after it admitted to providing incorrect information to the government debt agency. An internal investigation into the matter has already resulted in 1 trader being dismissed and 2 others being suspended. APRA said it had not seen improvements in ANZ's risks management since imposing a $500 million capital charge back in May 2019, which had been designed to address major flaws in its risk culture. The latest issues have only increased those concerns. Not a good look for ANZ. Story number 4, there's a bit going on in healthcare. Telix Pharmaceuticals has posted its first half-year profit after a big jump in sales last financial year. Telix products use targeted radiation to image and help treat cancer. Its share price is up more than 1,300% in the past 5 years. Biotech Mayne Pharma doubled sales last financial year, although it posted a statutory loss of $169 million on the back of asset impairments and legal costs. Fisher & Paykel lifted its financial 2025 profit guidance, sending its share price up 11%. And worth a mention is Clarity Pharmaceuticals, the clinical stage radiopharmaceutical company is developing products to help improve treatment outcomes for cancer sufferers. Its share price hit a record high today. And story number 5, the big one, Vice President Kamala Harris pledged to find a new way forward for all Americans in a presidential pitch to voters that painted rival Donald Trump as a dangerous and unserious man who would alter the foundation of American democracy. In the biggest speech of her political career, televised in American primetime, Ms. Harris presented herself as a pragmatic leader who would fight to build a stronger middle class if elected president on November 5. "We are not going back," she told thousands of cheering supporters at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. "This election is not only the most important of our lives, it is one of the most important in the life of our nation." That's according to a report in the Fin Review. She went on to say, "With this election, our nation has a precious, fleeting opportunity to move past the bitterness, cynicism, and divisive battles of the past, a chance to chart a new way forward, not as members of any one party or faction, but as Americans." Accepting her party's nomination for president, Ms. Harris said she was also seeking the Oval Office because she wanted to stop fraudster and sexual abuser Trump, who would only use the power of the presidency to enrich himself and his billionaire friends. That's it for the afternoon report for Friday, the 23rd of August, 2024. Michael Thompson, Adam Lang and I will be back tomorrow morning with the weekend edition of Fear and Greed Business News. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.